Welcome back here to the complete Pineleaf. We are still here in Parthgaland, where I have spoken with everyone except for Kufran here. Let's see what he has to say.
My name is Kufaron, and I am a hunter of great skill. Ask anyone.
I don't know about someone who laughs after saying something like that. Well, I will not regale you with tales of my many accomplishments, but if you are not careful, I fear my companions might. Yeah, I'm sure they would. Yes, Istiron was always very impressed with my stories of the lands to the distant east. Great beasts and dangerous birds can be found there, and I have hunted them all. Rodwin might speak of my prowess in the Southlands. Do you know those mighty four-legged monstrosities, the great Mumakil? Kufaran quickly shakes his head as you ask if he's hunted any of those. Nay, not as such, but I saw one in the distance. But still, you have not seen one, have you? Let's see. Have I seen anything that's as big as a house and gray as a mouse? Oh well. Yes. Well, there are a lot of vile dogs around the east wall, and I do not think they are creatures of nature. Drohirim calls them swirthounds, and they seems to me to be quite evil. You should hunt them down, as I plan to. I think they should cause trouble for us if they get into the camp near us. Alright, so kill swirthounds. I suppose I can do that while I'm doing all this other stuff. Let's see. So I need. Well, I can get rid of that one, but I need to climb Amon Hen, kill swirthounds, and follow tracks to Dead Orc Glade. It looks like Dead Orc Glade is the nearest to those. Oh, I guess those sparklies are the tracks, right? I don't know if I actually have to interact with these tracks. Sometimes you have to interact with the tracks in order to keep on going, and sometimes all you have to do is follow them. But the fact that they're all glowing up ahead implies to me that you don't have to interact with them. Well, I don't see any more up ahead, so let's. Tracks in the dirt reveal a great number of running feet past this way. Okie dokie. So let's head out this way. Well, fortunately, the arrow is pointing that way. That means we don't have to interact with any tracks before then. But we are going to have to kill skirmishers here and there as we go along there. Actually, that's where the sword hounds are at. Well, how about if we... Alright, well, it's not that much of a difference in the direction you have to go between the sword hounds and Dead Man's Glade, but let's get to Dead Man's Glade first. And we're going to have to take care of a couple of Uruks along the way, apparently. Hello there. Archers and more archers and warriors. All these fun little things we're going to have to worry about as they go and break our armor and all sorts of fun things like that. Now let's see. Oh yes, I've been doing the Ill-Omen skirmish between episodes. I mean, really, an evil white tree. Well, actually, I guess maybe it's not. It's a horn. No, I guess it's a horn of a white tree. Now let's see. Try to think what kind of tree would be. I mean, I strongly doubt it's related to the white tree of Lord of the Rings fame. So I'm trying to think what other types of trees have. Well, okay, we must be heading out in the right direction from over there. I saw the tree there. I thought it was a I thought it was an ambushing mob. Well, that's sort of the problem when you have a strange looking pet like that or something. So that's one of the new ones in there. They had that plus a couple of different types of bats for there. And oh well, that was a bit of a mistake. But I remember when I was in the previous areas, I don't think I ever managed to get a horn on any of the characters I had when they were going through Fangorn or anything like that. It's like because when Fangorn first came out, I think in order to get horns, you had to do there were random drops or something like this. You had to get this box, and then one of the possibilities was getting a horn to it. It was really bad. There was no definite way of getting one. It may have changed. I guess we'll find out if that's changed when we get to Fangorn. But but the part of Fangorn I'm talking about won't be until they release Helm's Deep. And concerning Helm's Deep, the focus standing bodies and Uruks litter the ground as this, the site of a recent battle. I discovered the glade full of dead orcs. What happened here? But the Standing Stone Games has pretty much confirmed that they are shooting to get Rohan housing out for the Helm's Deep update when they release Helm's Deep for the legendary servers. And as you see here, I'm just starting out in the Eastern Rohan, so it's probably a little bit of a while before they're going to have Helm's Deep coming out here. I hope it's long enough for me to. Sounds like a much bigger tree. Alright, let's go and Corpse to the Uruk, and let's play Boromir in a better light this time.
Someone cut a mighty swath through the Uruks in the east wall, but was it enough to save our mutual friends from certain death?
Well, that's a good question. Whack! Whack! But at least this time he has the proper names for Merry and Pippin. Because we had that thing with that hobbit and the other hobbit when I was worried about the ring and going after Frodo and all that stuff. Thank you, Boromir. He came out of the woods in that direction, Boromir. And it sounds like he was not alone. You were struck by the hobbit's sudden fierce countenance. They look so much like children that you begin to see some of the resolve which Gandalf spoke. We have to find Frodo, Boromir. If you had some cause for his disappearance, help us now to make it right. Yes, I need some UI changes here to make things look a little bit more like what I want. This way. And I believe there are some planned updates to session plays to make them a little bit less of a drag, but I think that's for coming out maybe either with, I think they're scheduled to come out with the raid. When I talk about the raid, I'm talking about the Shelob raid that is scheduled for about mid-March. Is my guess is when they'll probably be coming out, but it all depends on, obviously, on how long it takes them to have it ready and all. Mid-March is my current guess, which means it'll come out at any time except mid-March, right? Yeah, that's how my guess. Well, I guess I'm not 100% wrong. I mean, if all my guesses were wrong, then somebody could dependably guess the opposite and have a right guess. So therefore, my guesses are not completely reliably wrong. There you go. There you go. There you go. And oh, okay. Oh, that's right. The skills no. They did do the change already, where you're not using your power. It looks like, which is good because that used to be one of the big problems in session plays. I think the upcoming changes are to reduce the morale of many of these mobs. But one of the big problems they've had also was the power one. I think they took care of that a couple of updates ago. So it's good here not to be running out of power here because, oh boy, used to always be a real pain in these session plays. Boromir, are you hurt? Mary, he does not look well. Stay close. Yeah, because I think power used to be a big problem with this one. It was so hard to remember which things you had power with or all, but look at this. Still, I have power. I think maybe using no power might have been a little bit overkill to it, but I think considering the alternative, that's just blow the horn of Gondor. As I remember after this point, always waiting until my power was back up, but here I'm at full. The orcs seem endless. How can we hope to fight them all? Oh, we're all not as strong as you, Boromir. Mary has shown them a thing or two, but I just cannot do it. I can't fight anymore. There's just too many of them. There you go. Oh, yeah. But, yes. Yeah, I think I think morale has never been a problem on our side. It's just that how long it takes to kill all the orcs. But it's not as bad as some of the other instances, I think. But, yeah, power. That's where it used to really be bad. Okay, that doesn't do anything here. I guess only if I'm stunned or anything like that. I don't think these stun you or anything like that, so I don't think it does much in there. But give off a nice sounding of a horn is one way maybe to stay perked up. There you go. Alright, I think Boromir tires. What are we going to do? I don't know, Pip. Oopsie daisy. Well, I think you will start to tire after all these. And that's what makes it strange when you see my morale bar and my... Some things are hard to represent with a morale bar and a power bar, I guess. Maybe they should have had cinematic power drain happen through this instance. In other words, at certain points, the power goes down. We need help. I don't think anyone's coming, Pip. Ooh. Well, he doesn't look like he's in good shape. This fallen Uruk is barely alive, but the mark of the white hand on his armor is unmistakable. Seize the halfling, he moans, his wounds bubbling painfully. These Uruks are here for Frodo. You have to stop them. Except for this arrow in my chest, and another arrow in my chest, and another arrow in my chest. I got problems here. Boromir, get up! Oh no! Oopsie daisy. It looks like they are taking the hobbits to Isengard. Pippin, I think this is it. Are you ready? I suppose, Mary. It is our turn to protect you more now, for the Shire! Oops. The good news is that upon returning, I'm not running into 100 orcs or anything like that. Gerluk. Well, that certainly won't say it as Gerluck, because he certainly wasn't lucky.
If you come any closer, I will gut you.
Yeah, see if I don't gut you, halfling. You must be a friend of his, the one who did this. I'll make you a deal, halfling. Find one of my kind and take a bladder of grog from him. Bring it to me, and I'll tell you what happened here. Do it, maggot, or leave me to die, and you will never know what happened. And I will know if it's been lying around next to a corpse, so bring me a fresh one. Bring him fresh grog. So he wants me to kill one of his old friends and bring him fresh. Well, I do need to take care of the Swart Hound, of course, because I'm supposed to find some, right? That's what a hunter wants. Oh, an archer, who's apparently close to. See if I can pull him away from. There you go. Collected a bladder of grog. It smells terrible. Well, what do you expect? It's orc drink.
Give it. Give it here.
Give it here. The dying Uruk takes a gulp of the grog and he seems to be reinvigorated. Ah, that's the trick. I used to stuff. Yes, you want to hear what happened here? That might be a good idea.
You want to know what happened here?
As if I didn't just do a session play that went through the whole thing. This problem is coming in through the session play and the Uruk that you see in the upper right of the screen next to my mini map comes right next to you as you're logging back in and he starts shooting you as you're respawning. That's always a real pain. Good thing I'm talking next to Gerluk here. Let's see. Yes, I was lying here, cut down in battle and left for dead, and an orc came running by, and he just reached down and stole my purse of gold. I was too hurt to keep him from taking it. A pox on that mega-faced slime. You track him down, Hobbit? He ran off to the southeast. He would want to find high ground. You'll know him by a scavenged and mismatched armor that he wears. Get the gold back. Only then will I tell you what happened here. Ha! And I can't just leave him wandering around here. Just in case somebody respawns back into the area. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. I need to... Oh, you find the mismatched armor. Actually, what I really need to do is to set the quest guide focus so that I can go into the right direction. Otherwise, I'll be running around all day trying to find Uruk warrior. Well, I'll have to get him away from the rest if I'm going to. He's got 2 pups on him. Oh, actually, that's the orc there. Distinctive orc scavenger. There he is. He's a Siggy, too. Well, then, we'll get Mr. Distinctive Look here. Well, the good news is he's apparently not in range of any of those buffing Uruks. Those buffing Uruks can be a real pain when you get to Isengard, which is going to be a few months away, I'm sure. Say about 6 months before we get to Isengard. Alright, there we go. 1 purse of gold. Here's your gold.
Zerluk can reach even from the grave for its vengeance.
Yes. That orc can know that Zerluk can reach even from his grave his vengeance. It feels good to have my gold again. No one steals from me and lives, even if I must get vermin like you to carry out my will. But you wanted to hear the tale of what happened in this place, and now I will give it to you.
This is the tale, and may it rot your innards slowly.
If you're a friend to he who decorated this glade, it will bring you no comfort. I was with Ugluk's company of the Isengarders, and my orders were to capture halflings. Halflings like you, as it was. Alive, unspoiled, and unsearched. It was. I asked no questions, and no one with a brain would have either. Orders was orders. If I did not bear these injuries, I would bring you back to the tower myself. But it's not to be, filthy maggot, a blight on all the halflings. We found two of the little worms. They bit, they did. They stabbed at us with sharp knives, killed some of us, not far from here. But some of the boys picked them up. They struggled, but they had no strength. We made it to the glade when.
We had to fight.
He came charging out of the trees, a man possessed, his sword whirling around him in a wide arc. We had to fight. He killed many of us, and we had to retreat. We doubled back on him as he made his way down the hill, and in the company of many archers. Many archers. He gave me this gash across the belly, and I fell here, pretending to be dead. The warrior did not last much longer than that. He was still alive when his friends arrived, but.
The warrior had friends. A man, an elf, and a dwarf.
But they came too late to save him, they did. They were prepared to carry the warrior away when Uglik's boys circled around and slew them all. The elf loosed all his arrows, seized them all around, and the dwarf killed many. But it was no use. They joined their friend in death. That's my tale. Now leave me to die. I am content. And I think he put a little spin at the end there, but we guess we'll have to find that out at some point. Whew. Well, that was quite a story about what is going on in here. So, what's going to be the aftermath of it? We'll probably have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pine Leaf.